Well, good morning, Amy. It's so good to have you here on Holly's Hot Wedding Tips.
Thank you so much for having me.
How long have you worked with the Wedding Sites and Services?
I've been working for the company since January, so the beginning of the year, but I was actually an advertiser for many years for different venues, so I was very familiar with both sides.
How fun is that? That is exciting. I'm going to move your paper slightly. Great. All right. What common mistakes do you see couples making when they're planning a wedding?
The most common mistake that we see is people hiring friends or asking friends and family to take over pieces that really should be left to professionals.
What do you mean? What pieces?
Say your uncle is a DJ, or your aunt's gonna do your flowers, your mom's gonna take care of all your day of coordination.
Right.
Those pieces should be, let the professionals handle those.
So what pieces are the most important pieces to have professionals do then? That would be a better question.
Anything that's gonna require taking away your friends and family from celebrating the day with you. So if your mom is taking care of all your flower arrangements, she has a job to do. She's not going to be able to be with the bride while she's getting dressed, help her put her makeup on, things like that, because she's got a job now. So anything that's going to require them not to be able to really be a guest at your wedding, let the professionals handle that, because that's why they're there. That's why you hire them, so that they can take care of those things and take that stress off of anybody else who really should be there as a guest.
So your guests can be guests.
Exactly.
And not workers at your event. So
yeah.
Don't run an event where you ask all your guests to bring potluck and move chairs for you and things like that.
There are certain things you can get away with, especially if you're on a budget and, doing a potluck or a barbecue or, things
But
like
still
that.
make sure guests, workers they're not truly guests. They've now worked.
Exactly.
Interesting. What's the best tip you have for a couple planning a wedding?
Start early.
Right.
And
how early is early?
Most engagements are around 18 months. Now, of course, everybody's not going to have that much time if they're on a time crunch or if their specific venue only has a certain day booked, but try to give yourself as much time as possible. We have lots of other things going on in our lives, and that's why wedding planning takes a long time, because you can't quit your job and plan your wedding. If you could do that, then you could probably plan it in under a month. But, it is almost like taking on a second job. So the most amount of time you can give yourself is best.
Excellent. What don't couples know about using the Wedding Sites and Service Guide that you would like them to know?
Absolutely. We are so much more than just a magazine. We really are the #1 resource guide in Colorado.
Really?
We're set apart from the other magazines because we don't have the articles and the editorial. It's really a resource guide for you to use from start to finish to plan any type of event, much more than weddings.
Really?
And anniversary parties, birthday parties, corporate holiday parties, bar and bat mitzvahs.
Wow.
Any type of event that you're looking to plan in Colorado, this is going to be your #1 guide. But really what people don't know all the time is go and check out our website. We have so many more resources on the website, and the magazine and the website really work hand in hand. So on the website, you're gonna find our Design Your Wedding tool, which basically is our own version of Pinterest.
Good.
They're gonna find thousands and thousands of pictures from our Colorado weddings.
Good.
So they're gonna be able to actually get those beautiful things that they see from our local vendors. We also list all the bridal shows that happen throughout the year. So if they are looking to go to something, looking to go to an open house for a venue, they're gonna find that on there. We also have a great feature for blogs, articles, press releases from all of our vendors, and we're constantly sharing that information that our vendors have to give. A lot of times they'll do giveaways. You can check out our Facebook page. We've always got promotions going on.
Excellent. So they should like you on Facebook.
Absolutely.
How fun. What is the most unusual wedding that you've ever done?
The most unusual wedding that I ever worked on was actually at Craig Hospital. It has a very sad backstory, but ended up being a beautiful celebration. There was a unexpected death in the family. The bride's father was at Craig Hospital. He was paralyzed. So their wedding that they had been planning for a year for about 300 guests all got changed, in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
So we worked very hard to move everything as much as we could, scale that down to just friends and family. We were to have that wedding at Craig Hospital,
Wow.
and her father was able to take her down the aisle from his wheelchair. So
Wow.
definitely the most unusual, but one of the most rewarding as well.
Wow, that is amazing. What questions should couples be asking that they don't know to ask?
I think who runs everything is the best question to ask.
Right.
So again, the day of, if you got, your mom and your aunts and maid of honor taking care of all these things, they're not there to help you personally, as a bride with what
So you
you're
wouldn't
needing.
recommend the bride to run everything herself? Because I
That's
see that
never gonna
sometimes.
happen.
Well, it does, and I've seen it,
Yeah,
but it is an interesting, creates its own problems.
it does, and it gives you another level of stress that you don't need. So,
I mean, I saw a bride that she and her groom decided they were gonna run everything day of. They didn't have a coordinator for day of,
Right.
and then she lost her itinerary.
Oh.
And then they just started winging it. And all
Which
kinds of, the champagne sat on the table for 2 hours
Oh,
because it didn't get
goodness.
to the toast.
Yeah, you definitely need to know who is there to orchestrate everything. It's not gonna be your caterer, it's not gonna be your photographer, it's not gonna be your officiant.
Yeah, they ended up an hour behind because the photographer had to try to go find all the family members.
Right, and the photographer's job is to capture
And,
those
but
moments
they started
and take
with
those
the
pictures.
bride and groom, took those pictures, then they're like, okay, where's everyone else?
Yeah.
Who's herding cats?
Yeah. So having a day of planner is, the most important thing that I think you can do,
Right.
because you're dedicating somebody to run everything, to
Right,
make sure your
right,
vendors are
right.
there on time, to make sure you're sticking to a plan.
Right.
Probably the biggest complaint I hear from wedding guests is that everything took too long. There's too much downtime in between, events. There is a lot of lag. So keeping on that schedule, knowing when you're gonna have your first dance, when you're gonna cut the
Right,
cake, when
right,
you're gonna do your
right.
toast, and keeping that flow moving makes it a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable for your guests.
Mhm.
And then once those things are done, then you have the rest of the night to have fun.
Right. That's great. What's the most memorable wedding you ever worked?
The most memorable would be a gay couple that I worked with a couple of years ago, and it was just a beautiful celebration. One of the grooms, his parents were not accepting, and so they had decided they were not going to come and celebrate with them. About 2 weeks before, they decided they were going to come. So during the toast, the mother stood up and everybody was kind of on the edge of their seats waiting to see what exactly she was going to say, since she had recently had a change of heart. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house. She was very candid. It was just a beautiful moment about her realizing how much love was in that room for these two people, and that was all that really mattered. So having them be able to have a beautiful celebration and truly have all their friends and family there just made it a really memorable occasion.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to have you here.
Thank you,
Way to go.
Holly.